So a few days ago, I moved my parking structure here. It used to be up close to that gray and white shed right there to protect the table and me when I go in and out when it's raining. I wanted more room for parking, so I moved it this way about 6 feet, 8 feet. And I tied the part on the left, I have strapped to the building and the fence. And I used to have a tire like this with the strap kind of like that, holding this corner over here. And the other corner up there was tied to that table. And it never went anywhere. Well, I didn't think to tie it back down on this side. And the wind blew from the opposite direction it normally does and flipped it right over yesterday. And it was at a 45-degree angle from what it is now up over the fence and everything. Some guy riding by on a bicycle stopped and knocked on the door and told me, and we came out and we got it into this position. So this morning, I'm getting ready to put it back the way it belongs. And I'll probably have to wait for my stepson to wake up because it's going to be too awkward to do by myself, I'm sure. First order of business is I'm taking the 2 tarps off that are on there. The first one, which is the one you can see on its top, it used to be on the bottom. I bought it, it's the only one I could find at the time, and it's about 2 feet shorter than it should have been. And then when they got these bigger ones in stock, I bought one of those. It's supposed to be, I think first one was 10 by 20, the second one was 12 by 20. So the first thing I'm going to do is take all these fasteners off that hold it on. I've got most of them off. I have this one side left. And then all I'll have to do is flip the frame over, and then I'll pull the tarp back over the top of it. It'll be a heck of a lot easier because it's just going to be way too heavy with those 2 tarps on there. And what I would end up doing is bending the legs and just ruining the whole thing. So that's what I'm doing. I'm taking all the tarps off, and then I'll get the tarps out from underneath the frame and see how hard it's going to be to flip this thing back over the way it belongs. I bought this used from somebody years ago and took it apart, brought it over here, put it back together, bought a new tarp for it. They last 2 or 3 years, and between the sun and the wind, they get torn up. So these 2 tarps probably were put on last year, if I remember right. Anyway, that's my project. So I'll finish getting this tarp off of here, and then I'll see how hard it's going to be to get this flipped over by myself. I may just have to wait for my stepson to come out here in a couple hours when he wakes up. Well, as you can see, I got the tarps off and drug them out of the way. I put a tire on this end and a little bench I have, or stool over there, just to get the middle off the ground so I could pull the tarp out underneath it. Now, there's a chance I can take these other 3 legs off, drag this out where it belongs and flip it over, and then work those legs back underneath it. But I may just have to wait for my stepson because I don't know if I can do it by myself. It's 20 feet long. It's going to be kind of awkward. I don't want to end up bending these bars and ruining it. So let me see what I can do here. Well, I got it flipped over that far. Now I just got to drag it toward me a little bit more to get it off that wall. And then maybe I can start sticking the legs under it. That might work all right. I try to do everything I can myself because normally there's nobody around to help me. So I was able to get that flipped over, no problem. I'll drag it out here, get these other legs on it. And then what I usually do is I tie a rope to both corners on the long side of the tarp, and then I can just drag it over the top of it and then go around and put all these loop-de-loop things back on, hold it in place. I'm going to leave the smaller tarp off of it this time because I don't need it on there. I'll save it for another project. Well, here goes everything. Well, it wasn't designed this way. I still have to put the legs on this side. But if you had a small car and you wanted a low profile awning, you could just leave the legs off of it. It's pretty level on the top. You could pull a regular car underneath there, have a tarp over it, and you wouldn't it wouldn't be so tall. Not that I'm going to do that, but it's kind of interesting how it sits there level like that. Let's see if I can get these legs on it. Well, I got it up. I set the center of it up on that two-wheel dolly on the right side, so that would hold it up off the ground. And then it was too heavy to lift in the middle like I wanted to do. So I went down to the far corner there and picked it up first, got that leg on, came down here, got this leg on, then I put the two in the middle. Now this is about where I'm going to want it. So I have some self-tapping screws that are about 1.5 inches, 2 inches long, and they work on metal. So I'm wondering if maybe if I put a washer on them, if they will work to hold these legs down. I can put at least one in each corner, each leg, and maybe 2 or 3 just to hold it really good. But I think that'll hold it in place. I don't really want to do that because I wanted it kind of temporary because the neighbors built the house. It used to be an orchard, and they put this retaining wall here. So now I only have maybe 7 or 8 feet of room here. It's still enough to get a vehicle in and out, but it's a tight fit. But I don't want this structure blown over again, so I'll probably go ahead and put something in. I could get a nail gun for concrete and shoot some nails into the ground, into the asphalt, but I'm going to try a self-tapping screw, see if that'll work. Then once I get it exactly where I want it, I'm going to grab a tape measure, make sure it's square, same distance on each leg. I've got it as close to the brick wall there, block wall, as I can get it, which gives me more room on the other side. Let's see if I can get this thing fastened down. So I came inside here to get the washers. I've got these heavy-duty metal washers. There's some self-tapping screws. There's some self-tapping screws. But these washers had fallen over and it opened and dumped all the washers out inside of here. So I just grabbed my telescopic magnet, reached down in there, got them all out of there. It was pretty easy. I put them back in the container. Now let's go see if a self-tapping screw will do the job. Well, I'm going to try these thicker self-tapping screws first. I got my Hitachi. It's a ratcheting drill, so that'll help drive them in. I got a nut driver. They're about 5/16. I'm not quite sure, but oh yeah, I got to get my tape measure, and I've got to measure everything first because I want to get it as close to square and the same distance so it's straight as possible. Then let's see if this works. I got my 4-foot level out also so I can make sure they're straight up and down. Now these are designed to be on a certain angle, side to side, not straight up and down. It's not a 90-degree angle. So I guess I'm just going to have to kind of figure out that angle. Once I get this side solid, I can adjust the other side. Now I can force it over so it's more straight up and down to give me more room in the driveway over there. But I'm going to go measure the width of my truck mirror to mirror because it gets to be kind of a tight fit because it's a 2011 Tundra and it's a pretty good sized truck. It's a lot bigger than the early 2000 Tundras once they changed the body style. So let me see what I can do here. I tried to use a small washer and then a big washer, and that doesn't work because these self-tapping screws are too big for the small washer. So I tried that, and it doesn't work in asphalt. It chips out too much asphalt, then it won't tighten up. It'll work good in metal. Probably work good in wood, but not in asphalt. I got the hole drilled there, but it wouldn't stay tight, so that's not going to work. So I'm going to have to come up with something else. I know they have those guns where you can shoot nails into asphalt. Or what I might do is I have some concrete bits. I might buy a different one if it won't work. And I will drill a hole in the asphalt, then put in one of those plastic inserts, then I can get a screw into it. But it's got to be something that holds up really good because this wind just beats on these things constantly. Probably if I put at least 2 in each leg, I'll be all right. Yeah. The other option I have, which worked before, was these concrete blocks that are made for building patios and stuff. They're made to hold a 4x4. My plan is to put these on this side with the tie down strap, kind of like that, to hold this side down so the wind won't pick it up. But I don't want to do that on the other side because it narrows down the parking area. Plus, I really want that side, I want the whole thing just fastened really tight, because the wind comes up 50, 60 miles an hour, it'll probably just lift it right off the ground and cause all kinds of havoc. So let me go to Ace Hardware or someplace when they open. It's early in the morning still. What time is it? 20 till 7. I woke up at 5 this morning, came out here about 6. Yeah, I'll come up with plan B. Anyway, at least I got it back where I need it. I can get the tarp back on it. I'm not going to do that right now. Well, I guess I could as long as I tie it down good. I don't want it lifting off again. I shall return. Well, for now, I'm going to go to plan C, and then I'll come back and do plan B. I've got this side tied down with the strap hooked to a tire. I'm going to move that tire over. Otherwise, when it goes up and down, it'll move the tire and get some slack in it. I got this one strapped to the house like I had before, and that'll keep that side from coming up. This side, I put a couple of these Rhino tie-down straps to these concrete blocks, and I have them on the inside right now while I drag the tarp over the top. So that'll hold that in place. I have this long rope that I use for different projects. I ran it through the corners, eyelets. Now I can throw the rest of that over the top of the awning, and then I can just start dragging it up over the top. Once I get it up there, I'll go around and refasten all these little connectors that I have. I might have to buy some new ones. We'll see if I have enough. But anyway, that's my plan. So let me see if I can get this thing drug up over the top. Well, just for the fun of it, I'll put the phone on the tripod and see if I can film this while I do it. Oh, that'd be great. I can do it by myself, but 2 people would be great.
Heck yeah.
My son doesn't get up for a couple hours. I was like, I'll just let him sleep.
Yeah.
Try to do it myself. The old wind caught it the other day. Flipped it right upside down.
Yeah. Kind of done with them.
That's much easier with 2 people.
Oh gosh, yeah.
Hey, thanks. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
now the fun part, going around making all those little connections.
Yeah.
Thanks again.
You bet. Good luck.
Well, that worked out nice. Somebody walking by helped me out. And now I just have to go on and make all those connections. I'll go ahead and keep filming it, at least a little bit of it. You can fast forward or shut her down. Later today, if I have time, we're supposed to go to a get together with some friends. I might not have time to finish it, but if I do, I'll add it to the video. But I'm just going to go ahead and start putting these straps on. If you've never used one of these, they're pretty handy. It has a ball on one side. You wrap it around when it has tension on it, and then it just hooks it there and it stays really good. You can buy them in different lengths. I have a bunch of these from ones that are broken over the years, and I was going to buy some of this parachute cord, but Ace Hardware didn't have the right size. They didn't have any, I guess. I got to see if I can find some more of that. And then you can cut your own length if you need 6 inches or 2 feet, whatever. It's kind of handy. Well, I won't bore you with all the details. You get the idea. Now, this tarp is just a little bit bigger than it needs to be, so I've got to come up with a little different plan for hooking it properly. As you can see on the left there, it hangs down too far, so I just got to come up with a different way to hook them up. I'll get this strap down. At least the wind won't blow it away with the way I have it hooked up now. It'll be ready to park under here shortly. Thanks for watching. Hope this helps somebody out if they have a similar problem. In the wintertime, you want to make sure you keep the snow off these things. I've seen several of them where they let the snow build up for too long and it'll just collapse them on top of your car. Last year, or the year before, I guess, 2 winters ago, we had 2 foot of snow overnight. So every 2 hours we were out here cleaning everything off. We have 2 of these structures, and if you don't keep them cleaned off, they will collapse. If they don't collapse, it'll tear your tarps. But I've seen a lot of them fall right down on top of cars, which is not good. Thanks for watching.